So first of all, thank you for coming today. I'm so happy to invite you to this channel for listener, and I want to talk about our relationship and our children, our daughter, and in the same class and go to the same school. We both have a beautiful daughter, so we will talk about relationship later, okay? So your career is awesome. When I read your personal data, Mongolia, Myanmar, Africa, Romania, Philippines, Rwanda, China, and Japan. You were so active all over the world. Please let me know what is your most memorable place and reason.
Well, I think first of all, I want to thank you for having me here on your channel. And I want to say hello to the listeners. It's my pleasure to be here. And I'm honored to talk to you today. I've been in Germany, or in England, they say globetrotter in football. And all the places where I cannot say this one or this one or this one. So every place in itself had fantastic memories and many, many interesting things that I explored. Apart from the football side, every culture is different in all these countries. And I can say every country for itself was fantastic. And I was very lucky to be mostly in beautiful places. I've been, for example, I came to Japan, to Nagasaki. Nagasaki came in 1997. It's already a long, long time ago. And I still have friends there, and I'm still connecting with the people there. I met my wife there. I was in Mongolia, in Philippines, in China, in many places in Asia. And each for itself had very interesting things. Mostly I was very successful in the football, either in the youth or in the professional system, or with national teams. So from this side, it was always, the main part was the professional side. And outside of the pitch, of course, I got to see the countries. If I think about Africa, in Rwanda and in Burundi, it was also very simple life compared to our life that we have here. Here we have a very sophisticated and high-level life. Over there, the people live from bananas and tomatoes and avocados and rice, and they live with $1 per day, 100 yen, 200 yen, and they are happy. They have no insurance, they have nothing. They must
so natural.
Yes, just nature. You know, they walk 5 kilometers to get 5 liters or 10 liters of water, and they cook, and that is their life. So they have to do everything themselves. They have big families in Africa, for example, on the countryside. They have big families, and they live in shacks, you know, in sheds, in very simple conditions. You know, not everybody has a bed. They sleep on the floor.
Floor?
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, in the countryside, you know, but in the city, in for example, in Kigali, in the capital, in Rwanda, or in Bujumbura, the life is normal, but still it's modest compared to Japan, Germany, or China. You know, is very highly developed, top economically strong countries. So I can say I'm gifted, and I have a treasure box with a lot of experiences. So it's been beautiful so far.
Wow, so good. So I have been to Myanmar and Romania. I don't know details. So give me please one more things. It's like a country.
For example, in Myanmar, actually, I haven't coached in Myanmar, but I have visited Myanmar many times with the Philippines and with Mongolia, and we had many camps there. And in Myanmar, it's a Buddhist country. Yeah,
I heard that.
And they have these golden temples. They have these pagodes full of real gold. And if you see this, it's so beautiful you cannot imagine. Yeah. And every time I go there, I always take the team to go to the Golden Pagode in Yangon, in the main capital. Unfortunately, now we have some trouble there because the military took over. And we have some political problems, some instability there. But people very nice when I was there, and the fans, the supporters very hot and passionate.
Really?
So for me, it's now no surprise. I don't want to talk about politics, but for me, it's no surprise that people go on the streets, that people demonstrate, and the people fight for their rights. And I like that, you know, I like that attitude. And it's
I respect.
No surprise for me. The people are really trying to protect their personal rights, and the country is just beautiful. It's clean. It's very
and
hot.
People too.
People very friendly. People very helpful.
Good.
Quiet. It's Asian.
Quiet.
It's Asian. You know, Asian, and yeah, that's about Myanmar. I mean, I could tell many more stories, but basically, that is my impression when I think about Myanmar. And I compare Myanmar. The first time I went to Myanmar was in 2011, and the last time I was there was in 2019. So over these 8 years, I went maybe 7-8 times there, and I have a really very good impression there. And the country developed so strongly.
So I think each country has its own culture and customs and commitments. And what do you find negative or positive about Japan?
Japan.
Let me know your honest opinion.
Okay. Well, first of all, I wouldn't live in Japan if I didn't like it.
Oh.
So I like Japan very much. The country is safe. The country is clean. The country is very well organized. The country is beautiful from the nature side. Myself, my family, we live in near Itoshima, and
that is a beautiful
it's
place.
a wonderful place. It's not only Itoshima, it's Umi no Nakamichi, but many places where you can enjoy the nature, get fresh air, and think you are in Hawaii or somewhere.
Oh yeah.
If I go to Itoshima, I think I'm in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I always tell to my daughters, you don't need to go anywhere. You are here almost better place than
so.
Hawaii.
I agree.
So Fukuoka was always the place I wanted to live. With my wife, we decided when we met in 1999, we said if we have a chance in the future, and I didn't know my journey. You know, my journey was, as you said, many Africa, and I was in Europe. I was in Asia, in many countries. But this is the place where I feel comfortable, I must say. The negative side on the Japan is sometimes I feel it's a little bit stiff. You know, the people are not so flexible. It's the rules are very clear, and we cannot get away with individualism so much compared to the Western world, where most people are looking for individualism and want to do their own stuff and want to pursue their own career. Don't look right, don't look left.
Right.
I like this system very well.
Oh.
Because here, if on one Saturday we have to go to the beach and clean, public cleaning.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So everybody must go. Every household send 2-3 people and they clean.
This is custom.
Yes.
Right.
But we don't have that in Europe.
Yeah, all over the world.
All over the world. In Rwanda they have it also. In Rwanda they have it also. It's called Umuganda. It's every first weekend, every first Saturday of the month. All people must go to public places and clean. Everybody must go in Rwanda.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
So very nice. And Rwanda, for example, is a country with a very strong leader. For example, he is prohibiting. He does not allow plastic bags. He does not allow. So in a supermarket, if you go there, you get recycled paper bags. It's the same, you know, because plastic causes a lot of harm in the world from the environmental point of view. So.
Nice.
From that point of view, sometimes the Japanese a little bit stiff, a little bit unflexible. But on the other side, it's a positive thing because the group is strong. You know, so I don't find too many negative things. You live to work in Japan. In Europe, you work to live. In America, you work, you do your hours to live a nice life. Here, you live to work for the company. So meaning, example, my wife, she's going out of the house at 7:30 and she comes back 10 o'clock.
Oh.
So this is a little bit, I think, and a little bit not so good. But I wish the people had a little bit more leisure time, a little bit more free time, could enjoy a little bit more, had longer holiday.
Thank you. Last year, the whole world was severely damaged by the COVID-19. Maybe I think athletes too. So nowadays, what do professional sports person focus on to motivate themselves?
Yeah, it was a really very, very hard time. And if we look now on the top level, for the real professionals like the football clubs, for example, in my profession, the J League, the people had very strict protocols, how they go to the training, how they eat, how they train, to go back to their house, don't go anywhere. And you cannot do what you want, you know, your freedom was cut off. You go down a little bit in your feeling about life automatically. But compared to many others, people like in the J League or in the Bundesliga or in the Premier League, they at least they can do sports, they can train, they do sports with some restrictions. But I give you an example of the Philippines, for example. When they had the lockdown, some athletes, like national team players, they were going to the roof of their houses or to the roof of their apartments and running there on the roof of the apartment because they were not allowed to train outside. So this is was a very, very harsh and very, very difficult period for everyone. And it takes a lot of mental strength to motivate yourself in this period, you know. For the highly developed athlete, okay, they needed to follow strong protocols. They needed everyday tests, you know, also very annoying. Every day, or no, I haven't gotten a test yet. I don't know about you. Have you had a COVID test yet? Hopefully I don't get one, but sooner or later I will also get one.
Yeah.
It's nobody will be spared. So very tough times, and everybody is tired, and you need to be mentally.
Everything changed.
Yes, everything changed, and the question everybody is asking: are we going back to normal? I mean, quote normal. I mean, normal was our freedom life. Can we go back to the freedom life? I don't know. I'm wondering. I'm a little bit scared. But I hope with the vaccine, I hope with the vaccine, and I hope with discipline of everyone, we have to continue to be smart in the next 1-2 years still, in order to go back to some kind of normal.
And economy too.
Economy is, I don't want to talk about economy because that's another very sad issue.
Right. Okay. Thank you. So mental training is one of the most important issues for athletes. So it is a topic we hear about all the time. But how can we, as ordinary people, live our lives while being careful not to let our minds be too negatively affected? So what should we keep in mind when we live our lives?
That's a very good question, and that's a very difficult question to answer. Personally, for me, for example, or I think also in general, people who have their work, I think in these periods, and who stay home and work from home, it is something that the human being has to get used to, whether the human being likes it or doesn't like it. We have to wear masks. We have to have social distancing. In Europe, or let me say in Europe, in the southern part, in Spain or in Italy, many people hug each other when they see each other. They give their hands and they give kiss, right? And for these cultures, for these people, it is like, I want to exaggerate, like dying a little bit. The feeling for each other. Here in Japan, it's normal. Just aisatsu, we don't touch each other too much. The affectionate part is not too much here. There's, from the beginning, there is a little bit distance. And it's, again, we come back to the culture, we come back to the etiquette, we come back to the customs, different in every place. So we are in Asia, particularly Japanese have their own way of handling these things. So it's not too much of a problem for the people here. But for many, many other cultures, as I said, that is one part. For the next part is, I think we are scared about life. What will life become? Will there be another virus? Or will there be another danger, which maybe forces us to go again in lockdowns, and then that we cannot go back into our normal feelings, normal life. As we are human beings, we are getting used to these things after a while. First, we are complaining and we cry and we are not happy, but then we just can continue our life. I always talk to my mother, for example, and I said, Mama, this for me, looks like war. It's like a war. She said, boy, this is nothing like war, because she was a young person living in the war, growing up with 7, 8 years old, and bombs coming in the night, and they needed to go down to the shelters, and they didn't know whether they have something to eat or not. Like she say,
how old is she?
She's 78.
78.
78. And she says, it's nothing like war. We are very, very blessed. We have a very good life. We have food. We have a roof where we can sleep. We can move. We have some restrictions with a mask, social distancing. We have to wash our hands, have to be a little bit disciplined. We cannot go always to restaurants. We cannot make parties in the night in clubs or something. Okay, but we can be patient for these things. And
it feels like an information war.
Yes, we have to get used to it. We have shikataganai. We cannot do anything about it. It's like this. And we have to make the best out of it.
Right.
Of course, there's people who are psychologically or mentally a little bit weak and they cry a lot. Maybe some people even commit suicide. People who have big financial problems, again, shikataganai. You have to deal with the reality.
It's a little bit need more high positive thinking. We need.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course. Without positive thinking, you have to, again, always
but you're always trying to
try and motivate yourself and talk to people also. Don't put it inside. If you talk to people, if you communicate with people, it helps already. It's like stress release, and things become easier. If you make a joke, if you have some fun, or if you watch TV and you have a little bit some comedy shows, you have to get other thoughts.
So I founded Japan Small Produce Association, and I think the most important role of the coach is to motivate the players. Please tell us what you are actually doing to motivate.
In the pro world, if you're coaching in the J League, for example, in the J League, it's about developing the career of a player, depending on the age. If you have a 17, 18-year-old boy, he will be motivated by himself because he wants good contract, he wants good life, he wants good money, and he wants success. And he wants to showcase his talent. We have a team sport,
right?
You know?
Right.
We have a team sport. So if we are not working well together, it's not going to work on the pitch. Because as a coach, from the technical side, I have a way how I want to play. I have a way how the players must play in the defense situation. I have a way how they must play in the offensive situation. So everybody is interconnected, and everybody has a yakubari, his own role, his own job to do. Everybody does his job well, probably will be successful as a team. If your motivation is not high, you will not succeed anyway. Sometimes the motivation for the players, I remember in the Philippines, when we had one success after another, the players always came before the game and said, Coach, if we win today, you ask the boss. You ask the boss if he gives special bonus. If he gives special bonus. And then when we win the game, I started to sing a song. His name was Palami. And I said, I looked at the players, and then we started, we love Palami, we do. We love Palami, we do. And everybody sing the song, and Palami was looking, and his head go down because always he give good money. Let's say for every player, $200, $300, yeah. And times 25, meaning in one shot is $7,000, $8,000 from his pocket. And he was very generous, so he always gave.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so in Japan too?
In Japan, I don't know in Japan.
Yeah,
I don't know in
I
Japan.
don't think so.
I think everything is clearly written in the contract. You win a game, you get sanman. Or now you have an appearance fee. If you play one game, you get sanman. If you win, you get another goman. You have hachiman plus your salary. The pro world, you must play, you must win. If you play and
but
win.
Palami is a pocket money too.
Palami was the team manager. And you can say the owner of the Philippine national team. And he was very, very crazy about football, and he was a rich man. Still is a rich man. He lost a little bit, but he's still very rich. And he was very happy when we win, he always gives big money.
It's like a gift, right?
Like a special.
Right.
So money, of course, if money is, you can make a lot of money in football. So if you are in top of the top, you can make crazy money.
Yeah, I think so. I can imagine.
So, but for this you sacrifice your whole life from youth. You sacrifice all your life. You cannot go to dance or parties or have many girlfriends, or you go out in the night and drink, or you cannot do that. You have all the life is only focused on football, and everything is very clear. You have a very clear plan, you have a clear rhythm, you cannot do much. Motivation, it's also about myself, to become a star, to become famous, to go to the interviews, to have in the newspaper, or to have many fans on Instagram and on Facebook, and people follow me. It's if I need to motivate the players very much, I think they cannot perform on a high level. Player must have a strong self motivation to show his talent, to show I'm strong. And to work for the team. For top athletes, you have to have a high self-motivation. You have to love what you do, and you have to sacrifice your life for it. Then you can be successful.
I got a private question for you. It's said that the dependence on media and social network is affecting our children's development. So how do you deal with this in your family? And what do you keep in mind when educating at home?
I must see the reality, the situation as it is, as a father. The children now, my children are 35, 38 years younger than me. So I'm kind of like a little bit older father. When all these media things started, laughing a little bit, we didn't take it so seriously in Germany. But then more and more it become like not only fashionable, it's like a tool of communication. It's a normal thing for everyone. Whether I like it or whether I don't like it, whether I use it or whether I don't use it, doesn't matter. Fact is, people are using it now. The youth is communicating through Instagram. And I try to tell my kids, it's very okay you use your smartphone. It's very okay you use your iPhone. It's very okay you make pictures. It's very okay you take the positive sides of the internet. But please be careful. Don't overuse. Focus on studies. Focus on other things than only media. And read a book. Have time for self-reflection. And do not exaggerate. I'm not prohibiting. We are giving them really free. My kids are really like free. I take now in the lockdown that I have, and now that I'm looking for my next chapter in football, I have a lot of time for them, or comparatively good time for talks and for communication and for conversation. I do what a parent has to do and what I want to do because I love my kids and I want they become good kids. Even I don't like it too much, even I would want they move more, they make more sports, or they read more books, or they go more out with friends. It's their life. They have to decide how they feel comfortable. We are only there to guide and to help, but I'm not so much like Mukashi, strict and this and this and this. Kids have to
not to
dictate. Yes, they have to find their own way. They have to develop the brains themselves. We can provide money, we can provide food, we can provide education. This is our job. Lisa, my older daughter, she's 16, turning 17 in August. She's a child still, but she looks like an adult almost.
Beautiful girl.
But beautiful is just the outside.
I know.
Important is what is she doing with her life?
You're right.
How is she developing her character? This is for me most important.
So in Japan, soccer is one of the most popular lessons. It is great to have the opportunity to play soccer from a young age. So in that time, what should be doing or practicing in Japan?
Well, I think I know Japanese style of teaching and of educating people through sports, through soccer. can also be basketball, volleyball, any sports. They do it very strict, very strict, and you have to do it every day. And it's not always fun. But this is a kind of education tool in Japan.
Right.
Which actually I think it's not bad. The people, the students in the schools, they don't have enough leisure time again. But this is the Japanese system. In Europe it's different. In Europe you do it if you want to train, if you want to play, you go to a club and they will teach you. And then if you're very good, you go to a center of the Bundesliga, of the first Liga clubs or second league clubs, third league clubs even have these youth academy centers. And then you have the chance to become better. No? It's not like here, it's a different system. In Germany, if you want it and you're good, you have the chance. Here, if you want it or you don't want it, you must go every training, you must go Saturday, Sunday to the games. So, meaning it's a must.
In Japan?
Yes, it's a must. Yeah? Where in Europe or in other countries, it's what you want, and you have the chance to get.
They can choose.
They can choose. You don't need to go. You don't have to go if you don't want. I've seen the system in Kunimi Koko for 2 years. There were some things which were very good, but there were also some things which were not so good, but which I don't want to talk too much about because that's a system in Japan. I'm guest in Japan. This is my country now, where I live with my family. I have to respect. Nihonjin no yarikata cannot be so bad. It must be good. Because international, they play international. They play best 8 in the World Cup. In the last World Cup, they play in the best 8 against Belgium. And Belgium was going to the final or to the best 4. And this is what I like about the Japanese style. They do it their way. They are successful. Absolutely correct.
So happy news.
Yeah, it's absolutely, I think 20, 25, 30 years ago, they studied from people outside. And, you know, the style of studying is very diligent, very kinben, chikara ireru kara. So,
from so young age, right?
Yes, and shikkari suru kara.
So maybe basically the first fantastic education in Japan, you think?
Again, not everything is fantastic, but I think it forms the people in a good way. There's not too much freedom. There's not too much possibilities to go somewhere and drink or take drugs or make smoke and make party strange stuff. You know, it's not very clear planned.
Right.
And I think this is not bad for people. In Europe, in America, sometimes there's too much freedom and people are a little bit soft and lazy, you know, and don't want to do this. So here is pop. It's not. It's
strict rule.
It's not bad. It's not bad. When you get older, after Daigakusei, after you are 25, you can decide what you want.
Right.
And I think it's a good system. I think it's not a bad system here.
Yeah, I agree too. That's a wonderful system. But they don't. Almost Japanese. We don't know because we never travel in other world.
It's the Shima mentality, no?
Right.
Shima mentality.
Yeah. Shima mentality.
Japan is not the only country like this. There's other places. There's many places actually. They follow their own system. And what I can say is Japan is absolutely okay. Absolutely okay. Not perfect. But neither is America and Germany, also not perfect. By far not perfect.
I hugely agree. So this is the last question for you. Do you have any advice for next generation? It's a little bit.
Well, first of all, I would say read more books. Second, I would say don't depend too much on social media. Because if you read more books, if you go to concerts, if you play music, if you do something creative yourself, you don't only look in the computer or in the iPhone. You create yourself. But again, as I said before, we are older, much older, 30, 40 years older than our kids. We are from the past. This is our thinking. But the time is changing.
Yeah.
When I was 20 and I saw a 50-year-old person like me, I thought, what Oji-san is this? And they think the same about us.
Yeah.
We are old already, but that would be my wish. Proactive, develop your character, go outside, meet people, discuss, not too much social media. sports, activity, reading books, go to the nature, travel, all these things which we did. So I think this is very important.
Perfect. We need a real experience.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the most important thing in our life.
Yes. I can say, for example, I was always eager. I was always hot to go outside and meet people. I wanted to meet strong people with a good education from all these countries also. I wanted to hear that.
Right.
I've seen many people, many different people. I've seen also people with not so good education, but with a very good heart.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
If somebody has a good heart, if somebody knows life, not from the books, or is not a good student, but he knows life, how to survive in life. How do you make money?
Right.
Not only studies, it's also about social interaction. Very, very important.
We need a happy life, right?
Absolutely.
It's okay. So thank you for coming today. And
It was my pleasure. It was very interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hope you have a great success in your future.
Thank you.
And let's have a good time with my daughter and your family.
Absolutely.
Next time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Most welcome.